It's common knowledge now that horror on YouTube used to be a stranger place than it is now, with many of the older horror videos not having the traditional genres that we see on YouTube today. For example, in my last video on this subject, we talked about I Feel Fantastic, There Is Nothing, and Hey Walter, all of which, while falling underneath the umbrella of YouTube horror, have much different looks and feels from one another. Now, a lot of horror on YouTube can be lumped into categories, with things like the more traditional short horror film to the more YouTube-centered varieties such as digital horror and analog horror. That cannot be said for the videos that we are covering today, so let's get into them. Body of a Pig is a fairly simple story to follow, with a group of guys exploring an abandoned facility with an EVP as they try to find any evidence of the paranormal that many people claim is hidden within the facility. While exploring, they hear a noise, which upon clearing up and slowing down the audio reveals that there's a recording saying this. Upon inspection later, they realize that one of them had taken a photo while in the location, which upon inspection also reveals this. This video legitimately got me the very first time I had watched it when I was much younger. That final scare and build-up really adds to the horror of the video, and I still find myself occasionally getting chills upon rewatching it. The music and weird sounds really add to the atmosphere that they are exploring somewhere that they really shouldn't be, and really can make you feel uncomfortable the first go around. And the final reveal is legitimately frightening, catching me completely off guard the first time I watched it, and I don't know if it was just me, but it just creeped the hell out of me. However, like a lot of horror, after you know the scare within the video, the horror is lost, and there are other things that break the tension as well within it. For example, I know when I showed it to my friends a couple of years back, what really took them out of it was the poor grammar and weird storytelling that, looking back upon it, doesn't make much sense, with the opening title crawl being an excellent example of this. This video is like a lot of the other weird early YouTube horror videos, where a lot of the scares come from surprising your friends with this creepy video that you found, which this video does a really good job at, frankly. It works extremely well if you have no idea what's going on within the video, and if you watch this video completely alone in a dark room, this video can really get to you. And of course, to end this section, this video is not real. I've seen a lot of people try it and claim that it is, but it is in fact not real whatsoever. The guy who made this also makes other fake ghost hunting videos. This one just happens to be the most famous, but overall an extremely effective scare with a great buildup and even better payoff. And because of that, I will give it a 6 out of 10. Anyone who has followed this channel for a while already probably knows my opinions on username 666, as I had already talked about one of the other videos made by Nana, that of course being the My House walkthrough, which I covered in the video, the scariest video that you haven't seen before, but the chances are you most likely have watched this one. Username 666 is based off the urban legend that used to be on YouTube that if you searched up the username 666, it would at first say that the user did not exist, but if you kept reloading the page, then eventually the user would appear, and upon opening the channel, the devil would take your soul. This is essentially what Nana shows, but also shows a lot of horrific imagery such as demonic babies twisting their heads around and a lady drowning within a painting. And upon seeing this, the person watching begins to freak out and tries to rapidly escape the page, but is unable to before a hand flies into the screen reaching through, which causes the video to abruptly end, going with the ending of the urban legend, that being the devil pulling you in through the TV screen. I remember when this video first came out, just how much it was shared around as proof that the urban legend was real, and the video does an excellent job at portraying the urban legend, doing an almost one-to-one recreation of it, with the videos that are being shown being quite disturbing, really playing into the effects and atmosphere that Nana is widely known for with all of their videos. And just like in the My House walkthrough, Nana creates this atmosphere of hell that is really unable to be compared to with any other YouTube video. And besides the visuals, what I think truly makes this video stand out is the audio, as the audio within the video is just truly unrelenting, not letting up whatsoever throughout the 3-minute runtime, showcasing the pure brutality of the videos. And this video still holds up quite well. with the atmosphere and pacing of the horror within this video being nearly perfect, with an easy to understand setup and an interesting payoff. And the open-endedness of the story also really helps the atmosphere of the story, as we don't truly know whether or not the poster made it out alive, or whether or not now we are also cursed due to viewing the video. And the video also does an excellent job of leaving us with more questions than answers, something that horror is really good at, as the more questions you are left with, the more your brain will try to wander looking for the answer. And something you always need to remember as a horror creator is something your brain can conjure up is infinitely more frightening than any filmmaker is able to portray on screen. That is precisely what makes Lovecraftian horror just so effective. You cannot show anything that is more scary than anything our imagination comes up with. And with the way that the horror flows and is set up within the video, and the nearly perfect sound design with the video, perfectly adds to the tension. And with all that being said, I have to give it the score of 8 out of 10. Seriously, go check this one out if you haven't. You're missing out on a lot of horror lore if you haven't seen this video. This is one of the most famous horror videos for a reason. And with all that being said, let's get on to the next one.
Beneath the skin, we are already one.
Okay, I kind of included this one because I find it funny overall. This video is pretty simple. It's quite literally a talking loaf of bread with the demon speech from legend. You know, the scene where he talks about the unicorn, and then occasionally there's interlaced footage of a puppet freaking out and speaking backwards. It's overall pretty goofy, and I don't believe it's meant to be taken seriously, but you never know. I just always see it in old creepy horror video playlists, and if this actually creeps you out, let me know, but I just think it's overall pretty funny. I just find the idea of the loaf of bread saying like satanic things pretty funny. But if this video actually creeped you out, let me know down in the comments. And now let's get on to the next one. Another quickie video here, but it's just the drill sergeant and recruit from Full Metal Jacket, where the sergeant asks to see his war face, but instead of that, their faces are replaced with what looks to be the most fucked up mannequins in existence. I absolutely fucking hate this video. I don't know what about the faces fucks me up so bad, but it just triggers a crazy fight or flight for me. It's such a simple video, yet it's just so damn effective, and I think this video is a showcase of me having the uncanny valley, because I showed this to a friend once and they just laughed, so I might just be a wimp. But overall, yeah, this video fucked with me for a long time, and it's just such a simple thing, but it's really creepy to me. I don't know why. 6 out of 10. This video opens up with a warning reading. In the year 2571, a video cassette was found in a pile of rubble on the ruins of a blue planet. What you are about to witness will not be the contents of the aforementioned cassette. This is an entirely different recording. It then cuts to footage of a weird television program with extremely loud funk music playing in the background before suddenly a loud scream cuts as we hear what sounds like a man struggling and screaming in pain like he is being tortured, with him only getting louder and louder as the video goes along. And the visuals of the VHS get even more distorted and weird as the program animation gets more and more distorted as time goes along. By the end of the video, the footage is completely ruined with little to no visuals being recognizable, with the static and grain overwhelming the screen. And to talk about my thoughts on this video, there's something you need to understand first. This video is a parody, and not meant to be taken seriously. I seriously don't understand why most people seem to think that this is a real attempt at horror, because I think the beginning of the video really spells out this video is just going to be a parody. I mean, come on. It sets up a scary idea of the film being taped from a destroyed planet, but completely throws that concept away. It's not meant to be taken seriously. I think personally that this video was made in response to a lot of the bad horror YouTube videos that came around in the mid-2000s when the creepypasta movement was rapidly dying. There was a lot of videos that tried to portray the same topics in an extremely serious light, and I think this video is essentially just mocking them. And honestly, I think the joke works, as this is what seemed like every single horror video was like back then, with a cartoon being altered to be slightly scary. It reminds me a lot of the Family Guy analog horror that was released a little while back, where it mocked all the cliches that were common within the analog horror subgenre. It's not meant to be taken seriously, thus I can't rate it super seriously, so I'll give it a 5 out of 10. And to conclude this video, you can see a lot of these horror videos from the past have one thing really in common, and that is that they are just plain strange. I don't really think that there's anything like it out right now, and that honestly might be a good thing, as it allows an air of nostalgia when watching these videos due to just how different they are from the stuff now. And to end this video off, make sure that if you like this video to comment your thoughts, and also hit that like button and subscribe button, and I'll see you all next week.